Welcome to the track, the Scarlet Marching Band. The band is directed by Nadine Pomeroy, Jill Bode, and Jason Samiagio, and led by drum majors McKenna Bogarts and Natalie Vicuña. And now, fans, please welcome your 2022 Milford High School Scarlet Hawks.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the football field here at Milford High School as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we embark on week number 1 of the high school football season. And tonight, your Milford Scarlet Hawks start a brand new season here in the 2022-2023 school year. And their week 1 opponent here on their home field tonight is a non-conference opponent in the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans. We are so happy to have you with us for this coverage of week 1 of the high school football season, and we appreciate all of our Milford TV viewers hanging with us as we do things a little bit unconventional for the broadcast here tonight. So for everyone who is tuned in to our live coverage this evening, we're happy you found your way over to our old YouTube page. We resurrected our old YouTube page to be able to bring you this live feed tonight. We've been having some technical issues back at our studio, but we found a way to be able to get you this coverage live tonight. So wherever you might be tuned in live for the game tonight, whether you're here locally in the Milford area or you're all the way down in the Bridgewater-Raynham area or somewhere in between, we're so happy you found our live feed for the coverage here tonight. And we've got a good game here to get this season started, an absolutely beautiful night for week 1 of the high school football season. And for Milford, they are looking to build upon what was a big statement season last year. 9 victories overall on the season last year for the Scarlet Hawks. They finished off 9-3, and they were 1 win shy of a trip to the Division II Super Bowl. They ended up matching up with fellow Kelly Rex Division rival King Philip for the 2nd time on the season, with the right to head to Gillette Stadium for that Division II Super Bowl. And unfortunately, the Warriors were able to get the better of Milford for the 2nd time on the year, eliminating Milford from the playoffs. And so ever so close to the Super Bowl, but still overall a very successful season. However, talking to a lot of the players in the lead up to the start of this season, these players were very dissatisfied with how that season ended. It has been a bitter taste in their mouths, and they have fought hard in this offseason to prepare themselves for this year, hoping they can make it that extra step and get to a Super Bowl. As you can see out there on the field just seconds ago, the coin toss taking place. Bridgewater-Raynham winning the coin toss. They have elected to receive, so Milford will be kicking off to get this game started. Both of these teams getting their season started here under the lights at the Milford High School turf field. The Friday night lights back once again, and we will get this game started very soon. The Milford High School Marching Band down at field level, they will bring the national anthem, and then we'll get this game started. Stay with the coverage here on Milford TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Scarlet Hawks Marching Band.
The sun slowly fading off into the distance. And these two teams about to take the field for the start of a new football season. We hope everyone out there in the Milford community had a fabulous summer and now getting set for a busy fall here of athletic coverage on Milford TV. We officially got things kicked off yesterday in the Milford gym with coverage of the varsity girls volleyball team. It was a solid victory for the Milford girls, a 3-set sweep over Foxborough. And now out here on the football field for the first time this season, the first of 6 regular season home games for the Scarlet Hawks. A big home schedule for Milford this year, just a bit of a schedule quirk for this season, but the home fans will love it as they will have an opportunity to see this team 3 times at home in September, 3 times in October, all before the playoffs. But without further ado, time to get this season started. And Arugio about to kick this football away, a high arcing kick that travels all the way back inside the goal line, and they will wave it off as a touchback. That kick was received by Bridgewater-Raynham's Nasir Arguello.
Nasir Arguello with the catch in the end zone.
And so the first drive of this season begins. Will be the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans who will take it out with starting field position at their own 20-yard line.
First and 10 for Bridgewater-Raynham at their own 20.
It is Declan Byrne, one of the captains for Bridgewater-Raynham, as the starting QB, and he will hand it off on first down, quickly wrestled down after a gain of about a yard.
Number 6, Dawson Dubose on the carry.
It was Dawson Dubose with the first carry of the season for the Trojans.
1-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9 for the Trojans.
The ball spotted now at the 21-yard line. Bridgewater-Raynham with 5 wins in the regular season last year, looking to build on that. Playing out of the Southeast Conference. They finished 2nd in that conference last year, but did not make it to the postseason. Under center again is Byrne. Chased out of the pocket. He'll have a chance to run with it a bit here. Gets a hard hit, stumbles forward across the 30-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. So the pocket quickly collapsed there on Byrne, but he was able to pick up the yardage needed for Bridgewater-Raynham first down.
Damien Carter in on the stop for Milford. 9-yard gain on the play results in first down for the Trojans. First and 10 on the
Milford made it a point of emphasis in the offseason, in their player-led offseason workouts and training programs, to get stronger, tougher up front. Ball spotted now on the Bridgewater-Raynham 30-yard line. Another first down and another running play. And the back quickly met there and wrestled down to the ground right around the
Number 6, Dawson
line of scrimmage. It was Dubose again on the carry, picked up maybe about a half a yard. Nose of the football on the 31-yard line. They'll call it 2nd down and 9. Clock rolling down towards 10 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Your captains for the Scarlet Hawks this year: Jacob Lagore, Jaden Archibald, Keith Lee, Evan Cornelius returning as a captain as well, as this play goes towards the far side and is going to go as a loss here for the Trojans. Mason Baldick, the 5th captain on the team for the Scarlet Hawks this year. So again, Archibald, Cornelius, Baldick, Lee, and
3rd down and 11.
Lagore, your 5 captains. 9 minutes and 51 seconds on this first quarter clock. 3rd down and 11 now after that loss of yardage. And we see now Declan Byrne set up in the shotgun. He has it back to his right. He will drop back and throw. It's a quick pass into the flat, and that was number 3, Nasir Arguello, with that catch, able to get the ball out as far as the 35-yard line. That will set up 4th and 5 for the Trojans, and a likely punt coming up here. And Milford, with personnel headed back deep, including Damien Carter, as well as C.J. Farrell. Farrell, a freshman on this varsity team, flashing during the preseason, earning the instant respect of the captains on this team this year. We heard a lot of positive feedback about Farrell. As the punt is away, it's a short kick. Milford's going to stay away from it. It takes a bounce at the 40. A little bit of an extra roll in Bridgewater-Raynham's favor, as this will come to a stop around the 35-yard line for the Scarlet Hawks, and that is where Milford will have their first drive of the season begin. Now, you'll recall the season started with a bang for Milford last year. Their first play on offense was a trick play with a double pass that resulted in a long touchdown for Isaiah Pantalone. I can tell you it won't work out that exact way here tonight, and that is because Isaiah Pantalone is a spectator for this game. A lot expected of the senior wide receiver this season, but he is not suited up for this game here today. So Milford will start to show some of their depth at that wide receiver position, as they're without their star back, who made such an incredible impact on this team last season. 13 touchdowns for Isaiah Pantalone last season, but we'll have to wait at least another week to see Pantalone make his debut in his senior season. Meanwhile, the Scarlet Hawks with a couple of running plays out of the chute, back-to-back plays for Romero Holland, and he's able to grab a first down for Milford.
7-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on their own 49.
And Milford wasting no time here. They continue to keep it on the ground. This time it is Nick Arugio who's able to bully his way inside Bridgewater-Raynham territory and down to about the 46-yard line. This was really the one position that we were most interested to see coming into the season. A lot of continuity, obviously, at the quarterback position, at the wide receiver position, but running back was where the most turnover was on the offense for Milford this season, as now Cornelius looks to move with the football himself. He stumbles across the 45-yard line. Just a short gain there for Evan. It looks like they might give him the 44, so a gain of maybe 2 there. So a quick change there, I beg your pardon. Romeo Holland is the name, as we see a quick pass here dumped off to C.J. Farrell. He's able to race up the near side with enough yardage for the first down.
And that play is good for Scarlet Hawks.
Right now the clock paused at 6 minutes and 56 seconds to go.
9-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Milford on the Trojan 36.
Milford with a hurry-up style here on this first drive. Pushing the ball down to the Bridgewater-Raynham 20-yard line.
7-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 3.
Cornelius from the shotgun now. He'll hand it off once again. Milford using a lot of backs here. A hard hit as Milford lowers the shoulder, and that was number 26, Ronan Swineford. We've seen Swineford show some big-time toughness out on the lacrosse field the last couple of seasons that we've had a chance to cover Milford varsity lacrosse, and using some of that toughness there in the Milford running game, lowering that shoulder, leveling a big hit as he grabbed a couple of extra yards and gives Milford a first down. And now back to Holland, who tries to slip through a couple of tackles, dives forward, and Milford continues to make progress here down towards the 15-yard line. And right now it has been mainly the running game pushing Milford further and further down the field.
5-yard gain in the play. 2nd and 5.
Right back to the line of scrimmage. Now it's 2nd down and 5. And the handoff again goes to Romeo Holland. And he pushes down inside the 10. He's going to have a first down, and Milford's going to be looking at 1st and goal. And right now, Milford running over the Trojans on this opening drive.
7-yard gain on the play.
A gain of 7 there, right back to the line of scrimmage, and this play will be stopped in a hurry down to, looks like just shy of the 5-yard line, as Cornelius kept it himself.
Second and goal, Milford on the Bridgewater.
The clock winding down towards 5 minutes to play in the quarter. A long drive for Milford, just 5 yards away from the end zone. A low snap picked up by Cornelius, and this will be in for a touchdown for the Scarlet Hawks. It is Nate Scudo who finishes off the drive with a 5-yard carry, and Milford takes a 6-point lead with the point after coming up.
Number 18, Nick Arugio into the point after attempt.
Such a long line of Scudos that have made such a big impact on this Milford football team. We saw Carter Scudo for a number of years as a dynamic player. Grant Scudo as a captain last season made big play after big play on both sides of the ball. And now Nate Scudo getting his time to shine. He scores Milford's first touchdown of the season. And with that extra point from Arugio, Milford makes it a 7-0 lead with 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Our two sponsors for this game, Smart Floors Solutions Incorporated and 508 Checks.
And so we'll take a quick pause here on the broadcast. We'll be back with more in just a moment here on Milford TV.
Please also make sure to check out our concession stand, which is located right in the main gate. While you're down that way, also be sure to check out the Gridiron Club tents. They are doing a raffle for a gift basket, what we call it halftime. There's also a lot of new gear in stock. Be sure to check it out. Set to kick off.
The ensuing kickoff for the Scarlet Hawks again makes its way across the goal line, and again it'll be a touchback for the Trojans after Milford ate up a good chunk of this first quarter clock using their running game. And so there is an early question on the season answered in a big way for the Scarlet Hawks. Who would fill in that running game? You remember back to last season, Tyler Lane, one of the senior captains, was so invaluable at that running back position. Such a tough runner, such a great leader for this team. And we saw a host of backs carry the load on that drive, including Romeo Holland, as well as Nate Scudo, who finished off the drive with that touchdown. Ronan Swineford also getting in to the running game. And Milford, who expects to be a dynamic passing offense, really showcasing that running game on that first drive. Milford taking a 7-0 lead, and now it is the Trojans offense back out on the field with a short gain on that first down carry.
Number 6, Dawson Dubose on the carry.
And meanwhile, there hasn't been much variety in the running game for the Trojans so far. Dawson Dubose, a junior, has been doing the bulk of the carrying so far through these first two drives. Burns surveying the defense, takes the snap, now a deep drop, he's in trouble, he has to get rid of it, manages to make the completion. No, they will say
pass by number 9, Declan Burns falls incomplete.
It was incomplete. It looks like he was able to shovel that pass towards a receiver on the near sideline, but that lands incomplete.
On their own 22.
Looks like Joe Copeland was racing into the backfield for the Scarlet Hawks. And so now third down. Third down and 8 for the Trojans as Byrne has a little more time in the pocket here. A dangerous pass over the middle. Milford had two bodies there in the vicinity, but it ends up falling incomplete, and that is one of your senior captains, Jaden Archibald, who nearly had the pick. The ball lands incomplete, but it will be another fourth down for the Trojans, and staring at a 3-and-out here after the Milford touchdown.
Number 22, Mason Berry, in punt formation. CJ Farrell and Damien Carter are
Only about 60 seconds on that possession for the Trojans. This kick twisting its way towards the 45-yard line. Fair catch called for and is made by CJ Farrell. And so the Scarlet Hawks will have good starting field position after a quick 3-and-out for the Trojans. We had a chance to connect briefly with the Trojans head coach Lou Pacheco earlier this week. He was kind enough to send over some information for the game, mentioned that he hoped his team could hang with Milford for as long as possible into this game. Two teams perhaps in a little bit of a different stage of progression, as here Milford swings it around to the far side. They're able to get the first down, and now bodies getting stacked up along that far sideline. Damien Carter on the sweep is able to bring Milford an instant first down. Damien Carter, another player with experience on this Scarlet Hawks offense. Some big plays out of Carter in the running game last season, and the passing game, I should say. And now Cornelius looking to pass, and that ball batted down at the line. So we haven't seen Evan try to sling it downfield yet in this game. Looks like he was eyeing that near sideline, but that ball swatted away by the defensive line of the Trojans, and now 2nd down and 10 for Milford. Cornelius again will look to throw. A little high loft. Incomplete. Looking for Nate Scudo.
3rd and 10 for Milford. Ball is on the Bridgewater-Raynham 44.
There's a lot of continuity in this receiving game for Cornelius. The biggest piece lost to graduation would be Jaden Agnew, who certainly flashed with a lot of plays on offense and also really made some critical plays for Milford in the secondary last season as well. But it's just a testament to the depth that this team has. Not a lot of numbers, but good depth at their disposal here. Cornelius will send it downfield, and it's just out of the reach of Scudo. Nate Scudo had the defense beat, but that throw a little bit out of his reach, and this is going to set up 4th down. And Milford has Nick Arugio out there, so we'll see a Milford punt. So a quick 1st down play, but nothing more for Milford. Couple of players back deep for Bridgewater-Raynham as the punt sails back and takes a Bridgewater-Raynham bounce. And now Milford trying to stop that ball from rolling into the end zone. But that ball will be spotted down, looks like inside the 20. Looks like the 19-yard line, so it's been consistent starting field position right around the 20-yard line for the Trojans so far tonight.
On their own 19.
.305 still to go on the clock, so a couple of short possessions, one for the Trojans, one for Milford, and now Bridgewater-Raynham back out there. A high snap. Byrne is able to find it. Now gets hit as he throws and unloads this ball over the Milford sideline for an incompletion. A couple of times now Milford's been able to penetrate into the backfield with speed. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Trojans with now 2:58 on the clock. Still in the opening quarter. On 2nd down and 10, they'll hand it off. Room up the middle this time for the running game. Again, it's Dubose who's able to spill across the 25. Set up 3rd down and 2 here.
3rd and 2 for the Trojans on their own 27-yard line.
Clock still rolling here, coming close to 2 minutes to go. As this time Milford's able to sniff out the running play, and it'll be a loss here for the Trojans. Back on the other side of the 25.
Evan Cornelius in on the stop.
And there is Cornelius, and it was fascinating to see when HockomockSports.com came out with their players to watch
Loss of 3 on the play.
for football this season on the defensive side. That is where they listed Evan Cornelius. Despite all of the talent that he brings to the quarterback position, it is the skill that he brings on the outside of this defense that can sometimes really be a size mismatch. Just so big and athletic. As now Farrell is able to reel in this kick close to midfield and quickly accelerates, and there's just a little flash of that speed of CJ Farrell, and no doubt that is one of the skills that earned him a spot on this varsity roster as a freshman. You do not see a lot of freshmen on varsity football rosters across the state, and certainly as you look at Milford's roster, he is the only freshman on the squad. No freshman on the Bridgewater-Raynham side. But able to accelerate and give Milford starting field position at the Bridgewater-Raynham 38. Still in the first quarter. And it's back to Romeo Holland, who has space up the middle and gets tripped up. And he'll come to a stop right around the BR20. And there was someone in there who made perhaps a touchdown-saving grab, getting Holland around the shoe tops to trip him up. And right now, Milford back to the hurry-up. Looking to throw now, has a target open, and the ball is dropped. That is Jacob Lagore getting targeted for the first time tonight. Lagore wide open as he curled back towards the middle.
On the Trojan 23.
And so a drop sets up 2nd down and 10. They'll hand this one off straight up the middle, and that is Nate Scudo again in the running game.
And that play is good for Scout Hawks.
I beg your pardon, that is Ronan Swineford, number 26. Sneaking underneath the defense for a gain of 12. And a 1st and 10 for Milford from the Bridgewater-Raynham 11. They give it right back to Swineford, and this time a good job by Bridgewater-Raynham to get into the backfield. That was number 60, Declan Fahey, who was able to quickly bring Swineford to the turf. So 2nd down and 11. Just 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. And it is Cornelius who hesitates. He runs it himself, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Evan Cornelius. The 2nd rushing touchdown for Milford in this quarter. And Milford an extra point away from doubling the lead. Excellent work from our camera operator, Patrick Garapi, down at field level, catching that action in the end zone as Milford gets the touchdown. Arugio with another extra point. And Milford takes a 14-0 lead on Bridgewater-Raynham now with 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And so it continues to be the ground game that is the driving force for the Scarlet Hawks tonight. So much expected of this team this year after making it to the Division II semifinals last year, and you can just feel the energy and excitement from the fans. And this is about as big a crowd here at the Milford Turf Field as we have seen. Not a space free in these home bleachers. A good crowd over on the visitors' side as well. And entertained to a couple of early scores here for the Scarlet Hawks. Arugio, another kickoff that's going to sail back and into the end zone, or no, a little bit of a hesitation for the Trojans, and eventually they bring it out towards the 25-yard line. It appeared that the officials were signaling the touchback, and so Milford started to slow down, and the return man then accelerated and was able to get the ball out towards the 25-yard line. So an interesting play there. And so it looks like they will spot the ball indeed on the 25-yard line. So Bridgewater-Raynham ends up giving themselves an extra 5 yards with a bit of a fake. So 13 seconds to go in the first quarter, with the ball spotted on the BR25. And curling around towards the near sideline, Byrne down the line with the throw, and it is caught by number 11, Matthew Mullins, right around midfield. And so Byrne was able to buy himself some time rolling out to his right. And despite a couple of defenders right there bookending Mullins, he was able to make the catch and ends up out of bounds, stopping the clock with 4 seconds to go. So the biggest play on offense so far tonight for the Trojans gets them just inside Milford territory to the 49-yard line. And they'll have one more play here before the first quarter runs down. And they'll keep it on the ground, and Milford quickly brings the Trojans down close to the line of scrimmage as time expires here in the first quarter. So maybe a yard gained on that rushing play for Bridgewater-Raynham, and that is it for the first quarter. So Milford, with some impressive play in their running game, able to give themselves an early 2-touchdown lead. It's 14-0 in favor of the Scarlet Hawks. We will start the second quarter in just a moment. Stay with us here on Milford TV.
Please make sure to check out our concession stand, which is located right near the main gate. While you're down that way, also be sure to check out the Milford Gridiron Club tents and all of their new offerings for the 2022 season. And also a reminder to grab your 50/50 raffle tickets from our volunteers in the orange vest. Thank you. No gain on the previous play. 2nd and 10 for Bridgewater-Raynham on the Milford 49-yard line to begin the second quarter of play.
Beginning the second quarter here in Milford, it is a 14-0 lead for the Scarlet Hawks. There was no gain on that running play as time expired in the first quarter for the Trojans. So 2nd down and 10, another deep ball downfield, and this time defended excellently by Jaden Archibald.
This pass falls incomplete. The pass was intended for Matthew Mullins.
Again, Byrne was targeting Mullins, but Archibald with an excellent defensive play. Quiet confidence exuded by Archibald, letting his play do the talking there. A big swat to force that incompletion. So now 3rd down and 10. The ball still spotted on the Milford 49. And Byrne from the shotgun has a back to his right. And now looks like he's changing up the play. Now continuing to redirect his offense. Now looks towards the far sideline, and the ball in and out of the hands of Nasir Arguello. And so Byrne was able to change up that play. He had a receiver wide open on the far sideline, but Arguello dropped it. And so that will set up 4th down and 10 now. And so the Trojans opening up their offense a little bit more there on that drive and showing some potential there in their passing game. A couple of close plays, good accuracy from Declan Byrne, but a good defensive play by Archibald, a drop on 3rd down, and now a punt for the Trojans. And this is going to take a real nice Bridgewater-Raynham bounce on the 30-yard line. And so the starting line for Milford will be their own 25-yard line. So Milford has forced 4 punts on the first 4 drives of the game for the Trojans. Minutes and 38 seconds on the second quarter clock as Milford tries to break it out towards the near sideline. That was Damien Carter running the football. He heads to the sideline, looks to be favoring the right arm or hand. He'll have that looked at by the training staff down at the field, and you hope that's nothing serious for Carter. A tough gain of 3 yards, now 2nd down and 7. As Cornelius drops back, he eyes the near sideline, and the pass is incomplete. The defense was there, and C.J. Farrell goes tumbling out of bounds into his teammates on the sideline. So 3rd down and long coming up here for the Hawks. 3rd down and 9. 10 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first half. Cornelius from the shotgun takes a short drop, slings it towards the far sideline. The pass is complete. Jacob Legore making the catch and gets more than he needs for the Scarlet Hawks' 1st down.
And that play is good for Scarlet Hawks. 19-yard gain on the play.
Gain of 19 on that hookup between Cornelius and Legore. So there's the first catch of the season for the senior captain, Jacob Legore. And now back to Romeo Holland on the ground, who's able to get 1st down yardage on the carry before he races out of bounds. And Milford now mixing things up. One of the things, as we talked to the captains before the start of the season, that we heard frequently was the appreciation that these players have for their coaching staff and how they are able to morph this team each and every week into a game plan custom made to put this team in the best chance to succeed against their opponent. And of course, all the credit in the world to head coach Dale Olson and of course his brother Dana Olson, who serves as the team's defensive coordinator, and also Milford's offensive coordinator Matt Cornelius, who come up with outstanding game plans to put this team in a great position for success each and every week. Down to 10 minutes to go in the half. Cornelius will air it out, and that one is in and out of the reach of Cam Phillips. Certainly a catchable ball for someone like Cameron Phillips with that size.
3rd and 6 for Milford. Ball is on the Bridgewater-Raynham 39.
Obviously week 1 of the season, these players looking to get themselves back into prime game speed. And Cornelius now will take off with this ball himself. And he will come to a stop, diving forward right around the Bridgewater-Raynham. Looks like they'll mark him down back at the 17-yard line. So the knees coming down there as Cornelius dove forward for some extra yardage. With Cornelius' size, you just see how fearless he is running with the football, not afraid to go into traffic. And we'll have a timeout here on the field.
Bridgewater-Raynham, their first of the first half.
And so right now the clock paused at 9 minutes and 31 seconds to go here in the first half. And while we have a quick break in the action, we want to give you a little bit of a sense of what we have coming up on the horizon with our Milford High School fall sports coverage. As we mentioned, we were able to cover our first girls volleyball game of the season yesterday, a win for Milford against Foxborough. We'll have that game available for playback locally on our educational channel at Verizon HD 2140 and also on our streaming platforms very soon. We'll also have this game up and running for playback by early next week as well. And we've got 3 more games on the docket for next week. We'll get our first look at both of Milford's varsity soccer teams. First, the girls on Tuesday, September 13th with a matchup against Foxborough, and then the boys will play at home on Thursday, matching up against Sharon. We will have both of those games live for you, both of them expected to get started around 3:45 p.m., and then we will be back here for week 2 of the football season next week as Milford stays at home taking on Wellesley High School. That game getting started at 7 o'clock. So soccer and football action coming up for you next week here on Milford TV. We'll keep you updated on the status of our live coverage. We'll either continue to bring you the games live streaming on YouTube. Hope to eventually be able to get the games back on our channels as well, but happy to have all of our viewers with us on YouTube watching this game live tonight. Back out of the timeout, Milford carrying the ball down towards the 25-yard line. And that was Swineford who got tackled up high.
2nd and 9, Milford. On the Bridgewater-Raynham 26.
No flag on the play as the clock rolls down towards 9 minutes to play. Second down play coming up for the Hawks. Chewing up more of this first half clock. Cornelius has Romeo Holland to his right. Fakes the handoff. Sends this throw down the far sideline, but well out of the reach of Nate Scudo. Good defense down the line by number 18, Koan Bento.
Ball's on the Bridgewater-Raynham 26-yard line.
Clock paused at 8 minutes and 52 seconds to play. Cornelius again will look to run himself, bounces off a contact, trying to turn the corner towards the far sideline. He can't get there. He is brought down. Ryan Catino in on the tackle there for the Trojans. So they'll call it a gain of 4 for Evan.
On the Bridgewater-Raynham 22. Timeout,
As we'll have another timeout called here, stopping the clock with 8 minutes and 18 seconds to go. So as we look at Milford's regular season schedule, packed with tough opponents as we continue on. Now, I have a feeling there might be some fans out there who are eagerly anticipating when Milford's matchup with King Philip will be this season. Well, we can tell you that that game is going to take place on October 14th. So that is week 6 of this high school football season, and we're happy to report that that game will take place here on the Milford turf. So Milford taking on King Philip in week 6 on October 14th at 7 o'clock, and you better believe we will be here with coverage of that game. We have a feeling a lot of these players have had that game circled on their calendars for a long time. A lot of these fans. Should be a great battle between two very good teams, but along the way, Milford with a home game next week in week 2 against Wellesley, and then they will be on the road in week 3 on September 23rd against Natick. Meanwhile, a field goal try here out of the timeout for Milford, and it's going to hit off the crossbar.
His kick is no good.
And so no good on the field goal attempt for Arugio. Not many misses for Nick last season, but he misses that one. So Milford trying to tack on a few extra points there. The kick no good, and Bridgewater-Raynham will take back over with 8 minutes and 14 seconds to play.
From their own 20.
Declan Byrne will start from the shotgun. A quick toss to the near sideline, and DJ Overall quickly wrestled out of play.
Spot number 16, Dana Overall. Romeo Holland in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks.
Romeo Holland also looked like Aiden Watson.
Second and 12.
In on that tackle.
18.
A loss on that play. On second down, Byrne looking to throw, is in some trouble, able to keep his feet, and he fires this down the near sideline, and Milford nearly with the pick as that ball lands incomplete. What an adventure there for Declan Byrne. Had players closing in on both sides, was able to step forward through the coverage. Got a throw away, but it was incomplete.
That brings up 3rd and 12 for the Trojans on their own 18-yard line.
So 3rd down and 12 now for the Trojans. Just under 7.5 minutes until we reach the half. Byrne again from the shotgun. And this play will be whistled to a halt, and our very first flag of the half comes in. And it's going to be a false start on the Trojans.
Bridgewater-Raynham is the call. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
And so it'll be 3rd down and 17 now for the Trojans. Backed up all the way inside their own 15.
17 for the Trojans from their own 13-yard line.
I beg your pardon, from their own 13-yard line. Byrne, a deep drop back, has a little time, but now is flushed from the pocket. And now releases this throw, and it is caught by Nasir Arguello, and he was right at the 1st down line. And so on 3rd down and 17, the Trojans are able to convert. And again, a nice job by Declan Byrne to buy some time. His mobility has really been an asset here through this first half, as Milford has been bringing a lot of pressure into the backfield, but he's been able to hang tough. Hooking up with Arguello there for the 1st down. And now it's back to Dubose with the carry. Getting out across the 35-yard line to the 37.
2nd and 4 for the Trojans. On their own 37-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 37. Clock rolling down towards 6 minutes to play. And not much there on that play for Bridgewater-Raynham.
Byrne on the keeper.
Declan Byrne keeping it himself.
No gain on the play.
No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
For Bridgewater-Raynham on their own 37.
Again, getting a quick look at this capacity crowd here on the home side. A little bit quiet right now as their defense continues to operate out on the field. Now starting to get a little bit louder. And a delayed handoff up the middle. And it's going to be close here, right at the line.
Number 6, Dawson Dubose on the carry.
Dawson Dubose right
in on the stop for the Scarlet
close to that. We'll see where they spot it. It looks like where they've marked the football is going to be shy. No, they wave on the chain, so Dubose getting just enough there for the first down.
First and 10 for the Trojans on their own 41.
So definitely the longest drive of the game so far for the Trojans. Up to their own 41-yard line. Now a quick strike towards midfield, and that ball is hauled in by Daniel Francis. He's one of the captains on this team. Makes his first catch of the game and gets the Trojans inside Milford territory to the 49.
Ball's on the Milford 49-yard line.
A little over 4 minutes remaining here for Bridgewater-Raynham. And Byrne again with a deep drop back. He's going to send this one deep down the middle of the field and out of the reach of Matthew Mullins.
Pass was intended for Matthew Mullins.
Overthrown there by Byrne.
Second and 10 for the Trojans on the Milford 49.
Second down and 10 now. Exactly 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. And in motion from right to left, takes the handoff. It is Arguello. Dives forward to get a little positive yardage, maybe a yard.
Arguello on the carry.
And no, they'll mark the football right back down on the 49-yard line, where it is now third and 10.
No gain on the play. Third down.
And so again, this Milford defense with a chance to shut down this drive. Trojans in a third and long situation. Crafty quarterback Declan Byrne from the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Is running out of time. The ball is loose and it is grabbed by Dawson Dubose. Not sure if Byrne was actually able to get a throw off or if that ball was jarred loose on the contact, but regardless, it goes as a loss of 2 and sets up fourth down and 11.
From their own 49-yard line.
Beg your pardon, fourth down and 12.
Mason Berry in punt formation.
So the Trojans lined up to punt.
DJ Farrell is deep for the Scarlet Hawks.
Punt delivered away by Mason Berry. And is down
Catch by Damien Carter.
At the 20. Fair catch there by Carter. And so Milford set to go back to work on offense. A little bit more success there on that drive for Bridgewater-Raynham. They were able to get a nose onto the Milford side of the field, but the Hawks making the adjustments to quickly bring an end to the possession.
10 for Milford on their own 21-yard line.
So the official line of scrimmage is the Scarlet Hawks 21. And running it on first down, it's Ronan Swineford who's able to get out past the 30.
The ball carrier.
He's going to be just shy of the first down, a gain of 9 on that carry for Swineford.
And run for Milford on their own 30.
Ticking down to 2.5 minutes to play as Milford keeps the running game going. That looks like Scudo. No, back to Swineford. My apologies. Trying to get our 26s and 28s straight as this game continues on. So back-to-back carries for Swineford. He's able to get enough for the first down that time. And approaching the 2-minute mark now. As Cornelius gets the offense set. Puts a man in motion, now drops back, looking to the near sideline, and releases that throw well over the reach of the nearest target, C.J. Farrell, and almost picked off. Mullins was there.
Pass is knocked down by number 11, Matthew Mullins.
So that freezes the clock at 1:59. It'll be second down and 10 for the Scarlet Hawks. And now, meanwhile, Arugio breaking free here and finally wrestled down as he carries it across the 35-yard line, and that gets this crowd energized.
37-yard gain on the play.
A gain of 37 yards. Before that snap, Bridgewater-Raynham calls their second timeout. The clock stopped at 1 and 41 seconds to go. And so the Scarlet Hawks looking to put this ball in the end zone one more time before the half. And remember, it was Bridgewater-Raynham who won the coin toss and elected to receive, so Milford will have the football first in the third quarter. Both of these sides now talking things over with their respective coaching staffs, and for this offense, it continues to be the running game that's been the real bread and butter so far. It's been reliable for Milford throughout this half. The Trojans have not had an answer. Able to mix in a lot of personnel with the same level of success. One of the real exciting storylines for Milford coming into this season was a homecoming storyline with Ryan O'Connor coming to Milford High School for his senior season after playing the last 3 years at Lawrence Academy. So it's been great to have an O'Connor back in the Scarlet Hawks colors. Gain of 8 on that last play for Milford, setting up a second down and short. Cornelius will take off with it. He gets pushed to the ground right at the 15-yard line. And so Milford will have first and 10 from the 15 as the clock now is about to dip under 60 seconds to play. And meanwhile, Romeo Holland racing towards the far sideline. There is a flag down as he makes his way across the goal line, but we'll see what the call is on the field.
There is a flag on the play.
Might have been some early movement on the Milford side. We'll see. And so the foul was against Bridgewater-Raynham. So it's a too many men on the field penalty against Bridgewater-Raynham. So that sets up first and goal for Milford right on the doorstep here. Cornelius hands it off. Looks like Arugio getting the football there. Gets the helmet kicked off at the end of the play. He does not appreciate that. And so the ball kept out of the end zone.
Timeout, Milford, their second.
As Milford calls their second timeout of the half, stopping the clock with 38 seconds to go. It'll be second down and goal for the Hawks. And right now it looks like the ball spotted on the 2-yard line. Still plenty of time for Milford to end this half with a score. So Milford returns to the field. A last-minute personnel change as they pull Arugio to the sideline. Romeo Holland back out onto the field. Second and goal. The handoff goes to Holland. He gets stopped initially. A little bit of a second burst there. Was it enough? No, not enough.
Romeo Holland on the carry. Timeout, Milford.
And Milford's going to call their last timeout of the half, stopping the clock with 28 seconds to go. And so what looked like a foregone conclusion that Milford was going to get this ball across the goal line. We've seen a couple of stands here for the Trojans. See what Coach Olsen, offensive coordinator Matt Cornelius can draw up here to try to get into the end zone and pad this lead going into the half. Few final words here in the huddle for both teams, and now Bridgewater-Raynham back, ready to head back out there.
One-yard gain on the previous play.
So here comes Milford again.
For Milford. Balls on the Trojans, 1-yard line.
They go back to Nick Arugio. He is set up to Cornelius's right. Instead, it is Evan who carries the ball himself, and he carries it across the goal line for a touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown plunge for Cornelius. It's his second rushing touchdown of this half.
Number 18, Nick Arugio, into the point after attempt.
Arugio set up now for another point after attempt. And the kick is good. So 24 seconds remain in this half, and Milford now makes it an even 3-touchdown lead on top of the Trojans. An excellent start to this new season for this Milford offense. The defense has been stingy in this half as well, so a lot going right in week one so far for Milford. Obviously still a long way to go. Milford was able to dominate their week one matchup last season, playing against the Foxborough Warriors. Milford ended up scoring 49 points in that game, winning 49-28. They've won their last 3 straight season openers. There's Arugio now to kick this ball away. This time he keeps it low to the ground. And a little bit of a bobble, eventually picked up by Daniel Francis. And he's able to get it out to the 25-yard line. And so the Trojans will have 16 seconds here. We'll see if they just take a knee or if they try for a big play. Again, it will be Milford who will possess the football first in the third quarter.
First and 10. for the Trojans on their own 25-yard line.
So Bridgewater-Raynham will run a play here. Declan Byrne with his offense spread out wide and instead hands it off on first down. Again, the handoff to Dawson Dubose.
Number 6, Dawson Dubose on the carry.
Able to gain about 9 yards on that play, and we'll see the final 5 seconds tick down off of this clock. And so we will head into halftime with the score Milford 21 and Bridgewater-Raynham nothing. So again, Milford with a solid running game performance so far. A pair of rushing touchdowns for the quarterback Evan Cornelius. Nate Scudo with a 5-yard rushing touchdown. And a solid performance all around for this Milford defense. All totals up to a 21-0 lead as these teams reach the half. So about a 10-minute break here for halftime at the field. So we will take a pause here on the live broadcast. So if you're joining us on our YouTube live stream for this game tonight, hang tight, and we'll be back with second half action in just a few minutes. Again, 21-0 the lead for Milford. Stay with the coverage here on Milford TV.
Number 22, Mason Berry, set to kick off for the Trojans.
Welcome back once again onto the Milford turf field. About to get started with second half coverage here in this week one battle between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans. Tim Coet here on the call, along with a terrific crew helping out tonight for Milford TV. And again, so happy to have all of our live viewers tuned in tonight via our YouTube live stream for tonight's game. And quickly, the Trojans sending this kick away, and Milford fields it right around the 26-yard line. And so the Scarlet Hawks back out on offense to start this third quarter, looking to travel from left to right across your screens as we get settled into this third quarter action. And before we do, as you can see on the bottom of your screen right now, we hope that you will join us as Milford TV celebrates Community Media Day and also our 10-year anniversary of serving the Milford community. It's all coming together as part of a big fundraiser we will be hosting at Craft Roots Brewery coming up on October 20th. We'll have much more details to come in the coming weeks as Milford keeps this ball on the ground on first down. But of course, for all of our fans of Milford High School athletics, if you have enjoyed tuning in to all of our live coverage over these last 10 years, not only of Milford football, but of all of our fall sports, winter sports, and spring sports coverage each season, Milford Legion baseball as well, or if you frequently tune into our weekly news coverage on the Milford Informer, all of our municipal coverage, or all of our other services that we bring to the Milford community, we hope you will support Milford TV as part of this great fundraising event. Again, we'll have much more information. We're going to make it a fun night. We'll have ticket sales available very soon, so stick close to our social media accounts or our website, milfordtv.net, for more details on Community Media Day and our 10-year anniversary fundraiser coming up on October 20th. 11 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock for this third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. And a pre-snap penalty here. And a false start penalty going against Milford. First penalty called on the Scarlet Hawks in this game. We played most of the first half penalty free. A couple of flags coming in late in the half, both going against the Trojans. But Milford getting called for a false start penalty here, so it'll be 1st and 15 now. As Cornelius hands it off to Swineford, who is able to dive back towards the 40-yard line.
Eight-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 coming up for the Hawks. Cornelius now takes a low snap, and again the play will be whistled dead. And a second false start penalty now going against the Hawks.
Penalty, replay, 2nd down. 2nd and 12.
So this will push Milford back into a 2nd down and 12. All of the touchdowns in the first half were on the ground for Milford. A pair for the QB, Evan Cornelius, one for Nate Scudo. And again, if you're just joining us, Milford playing without the services of senior wide receiver Isaiah Pantalone as Milford looks to go deep down the field. That's the kind of play that's right in Pantalone's wheelhouse. Instead, Milford targeting freshman speedster C.J. Farrell, but that ball out of Farrell's reach. And it'll be 3rd down and 12. Cornelius getting his offense reset here. Evan trying to get a little more comfortable in the passing attack here tonight. He'll try it again here on 3rd down. Has to dance out of some trouble. Now slings it down. Has Scudo there in the area, and instead good coverage developing for the Trojans. as they're able to knock that ball away. Scudo was there, but better defense.
Number 11, Matthew Mullins in on the pass breakup.
Among the players in on that defense for the Trojans, Matthew Mullins, who's been good in both the receiving game and in the secondary for Bridgewater-Raynham tonight. Also, Daniel Francis in on that coverage as well.
Timeout, Bridgewater-Raynham.
So timeout called here by Bridgewater-Raynham. So that keeps the clock paused at 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go. So again, looking through some of the stats from last season, and this was just through the first 8 weeks of the regular season before the playoffs started for Milford. Evan Cornelius with 14 regular season touchdown passes. He also had 4 rushing touchdowns. Isaiah Pantalone, who ended the season with 13 TD catches, had 8 in the regular season, including a couple that went for 70-plus yards. Damien Carter had 3 touchdown catches in the regular season last year. Nick Arugio had 8 successful field goal tries through the regular season last year as well. His longest came from 45 yards. So just to look back at some of the success that Milford enjoyed through the regular season last year. Arugio now with a punt had to pull down a very high snap and able to salvage a decent punt here that's going to take a good Milford bounce back inside the 30-yard line down to the 20s. Looks like the 28-yard line. So Arugio able to avoid disaster there on an awkward snap to get a respectable punt away. Very calm under pressure.
28-yard line. That's a 42-yard punt.
We had a chance to go in depth with all 5 of Milford's captains, as well as head coach Dale Olson, talking about this new season in a segment we aired on last week's edition of the Milford Informer. If you missed that edition of the Informer, you can check it out anytime streaming over on our video on demand site at vod.milfordtv.net. Declan Byrne for Bridgewater-Raynham, meanwhile, fresh out for the second half. Sends a throw over towards the far sideline, in and out of the hands of Nasir Arguello. Second down, a low snap. Byrne able to dig it out and get the handoff away, but nowhere to go.
Dawson DeBose on the carry. Number 7, Aiden Watson in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks.
Beautiful sky overhead here as we get deeper into this game. Full moon looking out over the Milford turf. Still summer-like feel to the air for this week 1 matchup. Typically good weather through these first weeks of September. It's not until we get more into October that the real cool football feel weather starts to emerge. Take the warmth for as long as we can get it. And another pass attempt for Byrne, targeting Mullins, and it is incomplete. And quickly, Bridgewater-Raynham facing a 4th down and 10. So not able to get anything going on that drive. And Berry right back out for the punt.
Damien Carter and CJ Farrell are deep for the Scarlet Hawks.
The second 3-and-out forced by this Milford defense tonight. Kick away, CJ Farrell calling for the fair catch.
Fair caught by number 14, CJ Farrell.
As he hauls it in at around the 43-yard line.
Please your attention, please. We do have the raffle winner for the Gridiron Club raffle. Todd G. Please report to the Gridiron Club tent. Todd G. You are the winner of the Gridiron Club raffle.
Milford Gridiron Club giving out their raffle prize here at halftime. They had a raffle going on through the first half, and I want to let all of the fans out there know, if you are not at the field for this game here today, but you're planning to come out to the field for any of the next 5 home games through the regular season, make sure you take a visit down to the Gridiron Club tent just off of the bleachers. They have a whole new series of Scarlet Hawks gear available for purchase, and they also do a raffle at the start of each game as well.
Loss of 1 on the play. Second and 11.
So definitely encourage everyone to check out all of that Scarlet Hawks swag offered by the Gridiron Club, and again, just the Gridiron Club doing a phenomenal job to provide a quality experience for these Milford players. President Jill Legore, in her last year as president of the Gridiron Club, she has been absolutely fantastic running that organization. Can't say enough about the work that she does, as well as all of the Gridiron Club staff. It's parents who care so much about this team and about this community.
Third down and 5 for Milford from their own 47-yard line.
Clock ticking under 7.5 minutes to play. A second down play, beg your pardon, third down coming up for the Hawks. Hard count there for Cornelius. Now releases the throw. It's pulled down and into the open field for Jacob Legore. Has 1 player left to beat, and a touchdown saving tackle is made by number 18, Kawan Bento, preventing a long touchdown for Legore. So that's the second catch tonight for Jacob, and already showing a great knack for the yards after the catch. Nearly broke that one off for a TD. He heads to the sideline, gets a pat on the back from his head coach. And Milford knocking on the door of another score. Here it is Nick Arugio, who leaps over a defender and makes his way in for another Scarlet Hawks touchdown. It is a 12-yard touchdown rush to finish off the drive. Of course, the big play, that catch for Legore. Arugio netting Milford's 4th rushing touchdown of the game, and now we'll pull double duty to try to tack on the extra points. And no problem. So with 6 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the third quarter, Milford makes it a 28-0 lead. So Milford finally with a big play in the passing game to set up that touchdown rush 1 play later. And you know that once they have Pantalone out there, it's going to slot this offense into an even better situation, more depth, more big play ability. And from everything that we heard prior to the game, it is not a serious injury for Pantalone, and that they do expect him to be out there in the weeks to come. Such an important player for this team, and one thing that Coach Olsen has been very upfront about this team this season is that health is of paramount importance, and you can just look out there on the field right now on the sideline for Milford versus the sideline for Bridgewater-Raynham. The amount of bodies on that visitor side of the field is almost twice as big as this Milford roster, but if there's one thing that we've seen coaches Dale and Dana Olsen accomplish over their decades of coaching, it is being able to maximize the talent even on a small roster. You think back to the Super Bowl victories that the Olsens were able to contribute with Millis. That was with numbers that were probably even smaller than this Milford roster. So just incredible ability to maximize talent, put players in a position to succeed, and get the absolute maximum effort out of a roster, and that is what Dale and Dana Olson have been able to do for their entire coaching tenure. Of course, you have to have the talent to be able to back that up, and that is what these Milford athletes have been able to provide now in these 3 seasons since Dale and Dana Olson came to town.
Number 54, Mason Baldick, in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks.
Carry on first down for the Trojans, quickly sniffed out by the captain, Mason Baldick.
Second down and 9 for the Trojans on their own 21.
Approaching the 6-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Byrne dropping back, now scrambling. He is being pursued, able to get the ball out, targeting Mullins, and it's out of his reach. But again, Declan Byrne able to keep that play going long enough. And so accurate, throwing off balance on the run. He put that right where he wanted it, but just out of the reach of Mullins. Milford had Copeland again in hot pursuit. Milford cheerleaders keeping the energy up here for these Milford fans. Scarlet Hawks cheerleaders who so often have been national champions over this last decade. Great athletes themselves, bringing a lot of honor to the Milford colors. As Byrne sends a pass right into heavy traffic. It was complete, but looks like no gain on the play. So it'll be 4th down. Looks like 4th down and 9 for
1 yard gain on the play. 4th and 8.
Bridgewater-Raynham. They will give him a yard of forward progress on that catch. So 4th down and 8.
Mason Berry in punt formation.
And a Mason Berry punt coming up.
TJ Farrell and Damien Carter are deep.
Kick away, and a tumbling grab made by Damien Carter. Getting used to the new uniform number for Damien Carter. He was 22 last season, now wearing number 80. Damien Carter making the game-winning touchdown grab in overtime as Milford earned their first victory in program history against the Mansfield Hornets last season. We talked to Coach Olson prior to the season. He wanted Mansfield on the schedule for Milford again this year, but of course the big shakeup in the Hockomock League this season, Mansfield going to the Davenport division. So strange to see them down there in a different division than the likes of King Philip and Franklin. These teams have been mainstays in the Kelly Rex for so long, but now no longer being direct division rivals. That matchup between Milford and Mansfield was no longer mandated, and Mansfield ended up declining the offer from Coach Olson to put a game on this regular season schedule this year, so we won't see those two teams match up head-to-head in the regular season. So that was Owen Callahan under center, sending that pass to the far sideline. So Owen Callahan, the junior, now out serving as quarterback. Right now, Evan Cornelius
3rd down and 7.
Roaming the sideline, does not look to be in any sort of distress, still has the helmet on. So perhaps with the 4-touchdown lead, Coach Olson giving one of his younger quarterbacks an opportunity to get some game experience. It's 3rd down for Milford now, with the ball spotted just inside the 45-yard line. Callahan in some trouble here, now backing up, and he runs out of time and is run over by Cameron Davidson.
Number 64, Cameron Davidson with the sack for the Trojans.
The first sack of the game for Bridgewater-Raynham as they bring down Callahan for a big loss all the way back now to the Milford
4th and 17 for Milford.
46-yard line. That was a loss of 10 yards, and we'll see a punt here coming up for Arugio. Another Milford bounce on this kick. Milford will let it roll. It's going to come down to about the 11-yard line.
It's down at the 11-yard line.
And it is downed there by another one of the Milford captains, Keith Lee. Keith Lee, just one of the Milford captains that had an outstanding summer as part of the Milford Legion baseball team. Keith Lee, Evan Cornelius, Mason Baldick, all captains on this football team, and all three were great contributors to a Milford Legion team that were co-champions of Zone 4. They hosted the 2022 Legion State Tournament at Pheno Field. Made it all the way to the 4th day out of the 5-day tournament. Ended up falling to their Zone 4 rival Leominster to have that run come to an end, but it was a fabulous season for the Legion team, and a lot of these football players a big part of it. If you're interested in looking back at any of those games, you can catch all of Milford's state tournament games as well as a handful of regular season games streaming right now over on our video on demand site. So again, head over to vod.milfordtv.net to check out those games or any of our other previous sports coverage.
2nd and 7 for the Trojans on their own 14.
2nd down and 7 now for Bridgewater-Raynham. All spotted at their own 15-yard line. Byrne with a deep drop. Lets this throw go over the middle. Has Mullins, and that ball was just a bit overthrown. Milford did have good coverage there. Aiden Watson able to stay step for step with Mullins.
So there's a 3rd down and 7 for the Trojans from their own 14-yard line.
Just over 2 minutes remain in this 3rd quarter. Defense continuing to keep Bridgewater-Raynham hemmed in deep into their own side. Declan Byrne in some big trouble in the backfield, but again, he's able to step through the rush, and then reinforcements arrive for the Scarlet Hawks as he is driven back. Keith Lee in on that coverage. Mason Baldick also in on that tackle.
From their own 14-yard line.
Under 90 seconds now left in this 3rd quarter as again Bridgewater-Raynham faces another punt situation. This ball will take a bounce on the Bridgewater-Raynham side of the field. Milford lets it go. It will roll onto the Milford side and will be downed at the Scarlet Hawks 44-yard line.
44-yard line. Fans, as the game wears on, please place all of your trash into the trash bags that are tied.
And so it'll be interesting to see who comes out under center for Milford on this possession. It looks like Evan Cornelius is going to head back out there. So I'm not sure if there was perhaps some injury situation that the team was monitoring on the sideline, sending Owen Callahan out on that last drive, but Cornelius back out there now, hands it off to Nate Scudo on 1st down, and Scudo able to get to the far sideline, and quick acceleration gets him close to 1st down territory, and indeed gets the 1st down. We'll see if Milford runs another play here before the end of the quarter. Just 23 seconds to go here in the third. Milford lined back up. 13 seconds left, so we will see one more play here on this side of the third, and it's a running play for Ronan Swineford. And another first down carry as he runs directly into a defender, and you really got to love this running style for Swineford. It's the type of play you know fans will get behind. Just tough, hard-nosed. Swineford, not the biggest player out there, gives off very much a Danny Woodhead vibe for Patriots fans who remember back to Woodhead's contributions in the Patriots running game a few years ago. But he has been fun to watch in this game tonight. This Milford team as a whole have been fun to watch through 3 quarters. They have accumulated a 28-0 lead on top of Bridgewater-Raynham. Just 1 quarter left to go. We'll take a very quick pause here on the broadcast, and we'll get the 4th quarter started next. Stay with us on the coverage here on Milford TV.
Yard gain on the previous play. 1st and 10 for Milford on the Bridgewater-Raynham 33-yard line to begin the 4th quarter of play.
Time to begin the 4th quarter here on the Milford High School turf field. The Scarlet Hawks all over this game tonight. A 28-0 lead, 4 rushing touchdowns for the Hawks, 3 in the first half. A 12-yard rushing touchdown out of Nick Arugio early in the 3rd quarter. Well on their way to a victory here in week 1. We'll take another look ahead through the upcoming schedule for the Scarlet Hawks when we get another break in the action. Meanwhile, early movement on the line of scrimmage. Look to be on the Bridgewater-Raynham side, indeed.
Offsides is the call on Bridgewater-Raynham.
And so this will result in a first down for the Scarlet Hawks. We can tell you that we will be right back here at the Milford Turf next Friday for week 2 coverage. Another non-conference home game for Milford as they host Wellesley. It's the 2nd straight season Milford has matched up with Wellesley. Here's Swineford, meanwhile, on a first down carry. He's able to take it down inside the 10.
Ronan Swineford, the ball carrier.
And that's all before Milford plays their first road game of the regular season in week 3. And that should be a good one if fans want to travel out, as Milford will match up with the Natick Redhawks, a team that Milford played once in the regular season, a memorable game last year, and then played again in the playoffs. That one, a more comfortable margin of victory for the Scarlet Hawks.
Ronan Swineford on the carry.
Milford just inches shy of a first down after that Swineford carry. Milford keeping the clock rolling, about to dip under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th. Swineford just off the right hip of Evan Cornelius. Cornelius will throw here, looking for the back corner of the end zone, and that is out of anyone's reach and out of play. Alex Guerra over there in the corner of the end zone.
Pass was intended for number 11, Alex Guerra.
Guerra has been an integral part of the success of the Milford boys volleyball team in the last couple of seasons. Now as a junior. Unfortunately, Milford missed him in the playoffs last year for boys volleyball as he had an injury right at the end of the regular season. But healthy and now contributing to this football team as well. Evan Cornelius contributing on the ground, and he will rumble his way in for another Scarlet Hawks touchdown. A 10-yard rushing touchdown this time for Cornelius. 3 rushing touchdowns in the game. A 12-yard rush, a 1-yard plunge, and now a TD from 10 yards out for Cornelius. And once again, Arugio able to tack on the extra point. So with 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, it is a 35-0 lead for the Scarlet Hawks as they pour it on here against Bridgewater-Raynham in week 1 of this football season. A quick timeout here, and we'll be back with more in just a moment. Stay with the coverage here on Milford TV.
Number 18, Nick Arugio, set to kick off.
Nick Arugio, another kickoff. This one will be hauled in around the 12-yard line of Bridgewater-Raynham. A decent return, able to get the Trojans out around the 30. Trojans, who have been looking at long fields for just about every single one of their possessions tonight. This is about as good starting field position as they've had, out around the 30.
First and 10 for the Trojans.
Clock right now rolling under 7.5 minutes. As we start to come down into the later stages, early movement on the line, and looks like this is going to go against the Scarlet Hawks.
Offsides on Milford is the call. 5-red penalty.
So the offsides will push the line of scrimmage up to the 35-yard line. 1st and 5 for the Trojans. Declan Byrne with the handoff on 1st down to Dawson DeBose, who's able to get a good push. To be just shy of the 1st down yardage. 2nd down and 9 for Bridgewater-Raynham. The Trojans had a real tough start to the season last year. They lost their first 4 straight games. But they were able to get things on track from there. They ended up winning 5 out of their last 7 to finish the year at 5-6 overall. A tough schedule for the Trojans this season. Next week they will be on the road once again facing Xaverian, always a powerhouse program. And meanwhile, that ball came out right at the end of that play, and Milford recovers it. And so there's your first turnover of the game. So fumble recovery here for the Scarlet Hawks.
Number 45, Owen Matthews with the fumble recovery.
And they credit Owen Matthews with the recovery.
10, Milford from the Bridgewater-Raynham 41-yard line.
And here is Milford with a big play right out of the gates. Anthony Mayetta
Caught by number 84, Anthony Mayetta.
hauling in that pass as Owen Callahan is back out on the field under center.
17-yard gain on the play. First and 10, Milford.
So Callahan and Maeda able to hook up for a big gain, and now the Scarlet Hawks keep it on the ground, keep the clock moving. Carvalho with the carry. 24, Daniel Carvalho getting into the action, and Milford able to showcase a bit of their depth here in these later stages. Callahan from the shotgun, right back into the hands of Callahan. No, a fake as the QB will take it, and will take it into the end zone. Owen Callahan, the backup quarterback, getting everyone to bite on that fake. And he ends up racing to the end zone for a 17-yard rushing touchdown.
Number 18, Arugio into the point after.
Had us all fooled on that fake, and ended up going untouched into the end zone. 17-yard rushing touchdown, Owen Callahan. And another successful point after for Arugio, and it is now a 42-0 lead. And so, no doubt, a lot of teams across the state eyeing this game tonight to see if Milford was going to come out this season at the same level that they played at last season, a team that was one of the last standing in Division II, making it all the way to the semifinals. And a big-time statement made here tonight by Milford, tacking 42 points on the scoreboard, all on the ground. And so that might be the biggest story to come out of this game. I think a lot of people around the league expected Milford to be a strong passing offense, but to have the kind of success that they've had tonight running the football just shows how dynamic this team has the chance to be this season. So Arugio will kick this ball off with just over 2.5 minutes to go. Low line drive kick that's knocked around here. Milford with a chance to recover. And there is the signal. So that ball kicked around by the Trojans, and Milford is able to recover. And so you could see right away that that was trouble. And it was Nate Scudo who was able to come up with that loose ball.
Nate Scudo with the fumble recovery for the Scarlet Hawks. First and 10, Milford.
And so that gives Milford the football right back. 1:45 left on the clock, and we'll see if Milford just runs out the rest of this clock. Callahan will hand it off on first down to Romeo Ross.
Romeo Ross on the carry.
So a rousing success in week 1 of the season, and now preparation begins for week 2 against Wellesley High School. We'll be right back here on the Milford turf 1 week from now.
On the Trojan 33.
Final 60 seconds about to tick down here as
Number 2, Owen
Callahan takes a knee. And so once again, we'll have a total of 3 games to cover for you next week here on Milford TV. We'll have girls soccer action on Tuesday. We'll have the boys soccer team in action on Thursday before we return here for week 2 of the football season with coverage of Milford versus Wellesley. So we hope that you will tune in for all of that coverage. We anticipate we might be continuing to use our YouTube live stream to bring you all of those games live next week. But we'll certainly push out all of that information on our social media as these teams all come out onto the field right now as the final 10 seconds tick down on the clock. An outstanding performance from start to finish for the Scarlet Hawks here tonight. The running game does all of the work. It was Evan Cornelius with a trio of touchdown rushes. And then Nate Scudo, Nick Arugio, and Owen Callahan also with rushing TDs in the game. The Milford defense flat out dominant. And Milford passes this week 1 test with flying colors. They defeat the Bridgewater-Raynham Trojans by a final score of 42-0. So with the victory, Milford improves to 1-0 on the season. With the loss, Bridgewater-Raynham falls to 0-1. And so a lot more work to do on the season, but a lot of positivity to digest for this team and for the fans after a very successful week 1. Well, that's going to wrap things up for our coverage of this week 1 of the football season. And I want to acknowledge the hard work of our Milford TV crew on hand for the coverage here tonight. Our director for the game this evening is Jack Marino. Our main camera operator is Scott Crisafulli, and our field camera operator is Patrick Garapi. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, Milford defeats Bridgewater-Raynham by a final score of 42-0. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.